Carolina Elizabeth Gonzalez. I am with Her Behavior Analytics, and today's discussion is about peak assessment, specifically peak direct and peak generalization. Okay, so my primary goal for this video tutorial is just to give you guys a few tips. It is not meant to be very lengthy. It's just a few tips as to what to do. Okay, so number one, this direct and generalization will take about on average of 30 minutes to 2 hours. Okay, during the assessment, you can give the learners breaks. This could be, after 20 questions or 30 questions, depending on your actual learner and their attention span, that's what you want to be able to do. Okay, so that's why it takes up to 2 hours. It can take longer as well. In addition to that, if your learner has any token economies, or if they're working for something, they're already conditioned point systems, then go ahead and use that. However, you want to be able to reinforce other behaviors other than what you're scoring. Okay, so this could look like you ask a question from the assessments, and then you could let them know, how was their day today, or, just any maintenance question that you already may have, or the child may already have under their repertoire, and go ahead and reinforce that. After a few points or after 10 points, you go ahead and give them their break so they can know when they're going to be leaving or stepping away. Okay, the other tip that I have for you guys is establishing the motivation. So if your learner already has a vocalization communication repertoire, then what you want to be able to do is let them know ahead of time that they're going to be working for, maybe this prize, something is like a prize bag, to establish that MO. Typically in my practice, what I'll do, I'll come in with novel reinforcers and then just kind of shake it up and, let them know, like, hey, you get to choose 1 or 2 items from this prize bag after we finish, this book, or after we finish all these questions. Okay, that can help motivate to complete tasks. Right, since the assessment is very, for lack of better words, is dull. Okay, it's dull, it's a little boring, so we got to make it a little more exciting and more applicable. Okay, all right. The next one I have is any red flags. So when you're running the assessment, you want to make sure you're paying attention to if the learner is looking away, not necessarily paying attention to your SD and just pointing things. So for example, if I ask a question, point to the horse, and this child is just kind of turning around and just pointing at anything, you want to make sure you stop and you establish the MO, the child's attending, and then you represent the SD. Okay, this will ensure that you have a more accurate data versus the child is not engaging at all. Other red flags include like maladaptive behaviors during the actual assessment. So if you see any whining, crying, possibly escape behaviors, you want to make sure you stop and you take a break. Maybe today is not the right day to run this assessment. Remember, this is a very long assessment. Just the peak direct and the generalization will take up to 2 hours. However, the other 2 assessments, transformation and equivalence, could themselves take 2 hours each. So we're talking about 8 hours, okay? So it's okay to take your time and complete this assessment. Okay, those are my tips for you guys. Good luck on your assessments.